There's 3,330 beers represented by 44 countries at the World Beer Cup in Boulder, Colorado. Each brewmaster strives to make a beer full of flavor that sings a sweet lullaby to your lips, makes you shed a tear when the last drop is gone, and brings them the coveted gold medal. Ladies and gentlemen, Oatmeal Stout No. 6 and brewmaster Gerald Wyman have put haze on the beer drinker's map.
Fellas, a wise guy once said, whether you see your cup half empty or you see your cup half full, you still got a lot of beer to drink.
A gold medal beer does not brew itself, but by the hand of a patient and knowledgeable brewmaster. Gerald Wyman, a native to western Kansas, took his first brewing kit, given to him by his brother-in-law, to test in his wife's kitchen. His brewery would expand from the kitchen to his garage, perhaps not by choice, but it was there that Wyman brewed the first of his award-winning home brews. He then decided to pursue his newly found passion, and the rest is LB history.
Yeah, I started off as a typical home brewer, and I was using Janet's kitchen and actually cleaning up all my equipment in the bathtub. I think we had the cleanest bathtub in the world, but at that time, and it evolved from there. You know, finally I built my own little brewery and went all grain from there. I did extract in the house and then went to all grain, and eventually ended up with the system that we have here today.
Old No. 6 is no stranger to awards. A silver medal at the Great American Beer Festival in 2005, gold in 2008, and now a gold at the world's largest beer competition.
It was a real moment in time, you know, to win an award like that, and on that level with that much competition, you know, that many foreign breweries, and I think there was about 65% of the judges were from foreign countries, and it was just a real thrill.
Wyman isn't spending too much time soaking in this victory. Rather, he is contemplating his next recipe that will bring home the gold yet again. That's
what makes it interesting to me. Competition, I'm a very competitive person, you know, I do like to win, but that's what's really exciting about being a craft brewer is, you know, researching the different beer styles and brewing them and, you know, working them out. That's a lot of the fun about what I do is producing the different beers, and it keeps it interesting for me too.
A gold medal beer does not ferment alone, but in the company of good ingredients. Wyman's concoction is no secret. He took a recipe originated by the British and added his own touch.
That's one thing about beer recipes. It all depends a lot on the brewery's water and where they're brewed, so you can literally have the same recipe and brew it in a different location, and it's going to taste different. But we have a lot of, there's a lot of standard two-row malt in every recipe, and we have, there's roasted barley, black barley, caramel 80, and even some wheat in it, and then naturally oat milk.
And that water for the brew isn't collected from the kitchen tap.
We have a rural water meter over by Prairie Acres. It's only about 2 miles away, and it comes from the rural water district that's north of Ocala, and it's very good. I hunted all over. From Brownell, I went through 8 different water wells, trying the different beers, you know, with the different waters, and it's just, this is a really good all-around water for the different styles too.
While the water supply remains consistent, that doesn't mean the stout you tried in 2005 is exactly the same stout you try today.
I call it tweaking it, you know, over time, but this one, pretty much of all the recipes that I have, you know, it's pretty much stayed the same over the years. I've had to do a little bit of changing, you know, with the hop crisis on some of the hops, and it doesn't have our original hops in it, but for the most part, it's the same one, and you know, that's what it does. A lot of these beers, you know, over time you taste them, and to try to tweak the beer to the style and get it a little bit closer to the style. You know, especially for competition. And that's what it's all about. It's about brewing a beer to the particular style as far as the alcohol content, the color, and everything.
So to make the next batch of Oatmeal Stout and every beer taste better than the last.
The challenge is every beer. I mean, it's just the pickiness and the consistency that you want to get out of every product from the moment we mill in to the very end product where it's on tap.
The dream job of a beer drinker would probably be a brewmaster, but one must also be crafty and passionate with their brew, characteristics that show through Bender and Wyman and proven by a gold medal.
I think we really hit on the style as far as the body in the beer, the maltiness, and the velvet texture to it that you get from the oats. You know, that's a lot of things that they've hit on, you know, as far as the results from the judging.
While a batch of Oatmeal Stout takes nearly 24 days to produce, it takes only a moment to acquire its taste.
I think what really surprises people is this is a style that's not bitter, and people associate dark beer with being bitter. So it's a lot of surprises to a lot of different people when they try the beer and they realize that it just has this nice roasty, chocolatey taste to it, and it's not bitter.
It's just something different, you know, something completely different than drinking all the other domestic beers. I think it's what the main attraction is for me.
It actually tastes like you're drinking something. It's not like a light beer that tastes like watered down anything else. I mean, it's different. It's full bodied, it's full flavored, it's creamy. It's a pint of goodness. That's all I'm saying.
The flavor I like, it kind of has a sharp taste at the beginning and then it kind of smooths out, and it's a very smooth beer to drink, even though it's a darker kind of beer.
Really rich initially. It was a really rich beer that had a lot of hops, but it went down smooth, and I really enjoyed the slight aftertaste, and it almost seems like it has some fruit in it, and that just kind of helps it pass a little bit better, and it's fantastic. It's a heavy beer that finishes light.
It's definitely different. It does have a full taste, but the caramel and the coffee taste really good to me. Mostly it's the coffee taste.
And one Oatmeal Stout is a meal in itself, but man cannot live on liquid bread alone.
Most people say a heavy beer go good with a light meal, but I like it with a steak, burger, just about anything.
Probably some breads, maybe the pretzel here with the cheese. Be excellent.
Usually I start off with something lighter before stout, just because it is so stout. That's just my personal opinion. But after I have something lighter, like a Hefeweizen IPA, I go with the stout, and it's fantastic. It goes really well. It's robust with grease food like this, chicken wings and pizza.
Usually we get hors d'oeuvres to start off with, and then also the Grebel is really good with it.
But perhaps the best thing that goes with an Oatmeal Stout?
Another Oatmeal Stout.
And there's 310 gallons to go around until the next tank. Life is too short to not try a full-bodied beer.
I'll take an Oatmeal Stout. Too chicken to try it? Live a little. Come on. Don't be like everybody else. Don't be the person that gets the X brand light beer. Get something with some flavor. Be original. Come on.
So if you're in dire need of a hoppier beer, a beer for dessert, or just a nightcap, Oatmeal Stout number 6 should be your number 1. If the world gives it a gold, it's worth a try in my book. Its natural and pure taste will leave you wanting more, and maybe make you sing for them after having a few. That's all for Cruising with Casey. There's plenty more where that came from next week, right here on Street Beat. I'm Casey McAvoy, and after that beer, how about you drive, and I'll ride along.
Raise your glasses to Lb Brewing Company, where stouts turn to gold. Salute.
Cheers.
Cheers.